Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing my VCT Champions Pickems for the playoffs. I'm going to go through all the games, pick the winners up until the end of the tournament, and give you my official prediction for who I think is going to win the tournament. And this is the first time I'm going to be able to do it in game. I was going to do it in game for the groups Pickems, but they didn't do the individual game picks, so I just decided to do it on VLR there. And now they have the full bracket here on the in game. So I did it on VLR. I have the bracket on my second monitor, and I think this is a pretty decent bracket that is going to get rolled in about 2 games when I get the two of the opening games wrong, and everything goes to shit. So should be very interesting. I think this playoffs. I genuinely think any team from these playoffs can win. I think there's ones that have significantly less chances than others, but it's not like no team could win at all. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Let me know if you guys want me to do Pickems in VLR from now on. I don't think they'll do this for every America's just the regional events, but yeah, if you want me to keep doing it in game for Masters events in the future, let me know. And yeah, let's get right into it. All right, so I need to minimize my OBS on my second monitor first so I can actually see my bracket. So the opening game here, we have DRX versus Sentinels, home crowd team, the only Korean team left versus the most popular team in the world, Sentinels. These teams had both had unexpected runs in groups. I think most people expected DRX to be the second team out of Group A and Sentinels to be kind of grouped in Group B, or I mean probably just go out in two. Honestly, that would be what I expected in terms of just what was the most likely scenario. Obviously, that wasn't what I put in my pick'ems. I had a crazy Group B there. Um, but yeah, I'm a big believer in Sen. I have them winning this game. I actually went through and did like map drafts for most games. I did it on a bunch of note cards, so I don't actually know where Sen DRX is in any of these. So, um, okay, I found it actually. So yeah, for the map pool for this one, I have Haven, Abyss, or Haven, Abyss, Bind is the map pool here, and I think Sen would win Haven no matter what. I think, especially with the way that Sen is in terms of anti-stratting, I think DRX on Haven should be an easy win for Sentinels, even if DRX is not the worst on that map. Even though, I mean, they got destroyed by Crew, so I don't think they are good on that map. Then Abyss, I think, is DRX's map. Sen hasn't played it yet. I could see them winning it, but probably not. DRX does look pretty nice on that map. And then Bind, I think, is just Sentinel's map as well. I don't think DRX are very good at Bind either. So that's why I have Sen going through here. Then Trace EDG, which I actually have on the back of this card. Trace making an insane run through groups, beating both Vitality and Leviathan, which, if you watched, I think it was my power rankings video that I said this. I said Trace is the Chinese team that is most likely to win the tournament. Now, I was very low down on EDG, but I honestly still believe that, even though they're playing here. Just because, like, their group, because I think FPX wasn't in a good group, and I don't think FPX was going to win the tournament. I thought they would go far, but I didn't think they'd win. Um, and yeah, I just think Trace is unbelievable. They play such like normal Valorant for Chinese teams. It's kind of crazy. Or yeah, Chinese team. I don't know why I thought that. Like their Deadlock on Bind is really good. Their Ascent is one of the best in the world. Genuinely. And I don't know. I just think they play the most normal standard Valorant out of any Chinese team, and they still have the individuals to back it up and some of the crazy decisions to back it up as well. That give them a really good advantage, I guess. So for this match, I have EDG picking Haven, Trace picking Bind, and Lotus being the final map for the decider. I think EDG would win Haven. They've looked pretty nice on that map so far. Trace would win Bind, and then Trace would win Lotus, and I don't think either of those maps would be that close, honestly. So I have Trace going through here against EDG, which I don't know if that's going to be a popular pick. I've seen people picking EDG over Trace, and I don't understand that. Then do I have G2 Lev here anywhere? I found it. Okay. Um, yeah, two teams that I think we expected to. I guess a lot of people had big expectations for Lev, and I don't think they played their best in groups. I think they had a lot of mistakes, as they do in a lot of their games, and especially at these international events in these big moments, I think it gets even worse for them. G2, I think they get even better when the pressure ramps up. I don't think it affects them too much. Sometimes it does. I don't think they're like immune to it, but I do think it's pretty I don't know how to say it, but like it doesn't affect them too much. It affects Lev a lot, I think. It is a pretty big difference there between those two. So the map pool for this game, I have Icebox, Lotus, Abyss, and I don't think it gets to Abyss. I think G2 beat Lev on Icebox, and I think G2 beat Lev on Lotus. And I don't think I mean, Icebox should be a good game. I think that's Lev's best map. I think they're one of the best teams in the world on that map, if not the best. But I think G2 have just proven that, especially against Lev, that they're very good on Icebox. It is one of G2's best maps as well. Um, and yeah, I just think G2. I trust G2 more in this game, especially with the other maps in this pool like Lotus. I think G2 should easily win that. And then I think Abyss is kind of 50-50 because both these teams have played it, but not to like a super high level to the point where you trust either team on the map necessarily. And I just trust G2 more as a team in general. Then we have Fnatic Heretics, who, if you watch my videos before the tournament, I ranked Heretics number 1, and I had them coming out of groups through lowers just because of picking upsets and stuff. And yeah, I think this map pool does favor Fnatic slightly, I think, because Fnatic either ban like Icebox or Sunset, depending on who they're playing. Like when they played Billy Billy, I'm assuming they weren't afraid of their Icebox at all, so they banned Sunset. Otherwise, they always ban Icebox. So I think they would ban Sunset against Heretics because I don't think they'd be afraid of Heretics Icebox, and I think Heretics are one of the best Sunset teams in the world. Heretics would ban Ascent, which I think helps Fnatic a little bit. And then I think Fnatic would play Lotus. Heretics would play Abyss, which I think are both free map wins for each team. And then I think the last map would be Bind, and that comes down to a 50-50, I think, with these two teams. And I'm just going to go with my pre-tournament pick and pick Heretics to win this game, just because I trust them more. It's not even that I don't think Fnatic's good. I just think Heretics is better. It just comes down to that. Like I think they just have better individual players across the board. Hero might have some struggles in his first playoff game at an international event. We'll just have to see. Then I think we'll just go through uppers next. I'm gonna stop reading off the cards here. Actually, I am. I found it instantly. Okay. So Sen Trace, I think, is a very interesting game because if you believe in the momentum of Trace at this point, I think you have to take them in this game. But I think looking at this map pool, where I think it would be Bind, Lotus, Ascent. Wait, why did I pick Sen? Oh, because it'd be like 50-50 on Bind. Wait, no, this isn't even the right card. I'm a moron. Anyways, moving on past that. That wouldn't be the map pool because Sen would ban Ascent, which I think is Heretics. Trace's best map. As I've said before, I think they were one of the best in the world on that map, if not probably the best. And I think Sen, just in these pressure games, the experience on this team, I think they should be able to take this game versus Trace. I'm not going to extend the explanation on that game too much, just because, not that I think it'll be an easy game for Sentinels, I just think in these kind of games, they should be able to beat teams like Trace. Then G2 Heretics, where I do think this is like a huge thing in terms of map pool. Heretics could get rid of Icebox, which I think is one of G2's best maps. G2 could get rid of Sunset, which is one of Heretics' best maps. I think Heretics would win Abyss. I think G2 would win Ascent. And then the last map comes down to Lotus, where I trust G2 more. And yeah, I think G2, I mean, overall has gotten the better of Heretics in these BO3 games. They beat them in groups at Shanghai, and they beat them, I think, the second round at Shanghai as well in playoffs, and then they got destroyed in the lower final, which was a BO5. Um, I just think they match up pretty well in terms of map pool. Heretics not being that great on Ascent, Icebox. I mean, I guess Icebox isn't the best matchup, but not being that great on Ascent, Haven, those kind of maps. Not the best on Lotus anymore. I think G2 can get the better of Heretics in a couple of these maps. Then DRX EDG. I don't know, man. This is a. Wait, what? This is not. Wait, what? How is DRX here? Oh, because this is the lower round. Okay, this confused me. I knew it was going to confuse me. DRX EDG is the lower round one. I looked at the lower round two because it was like straight below the upper round two. Um, yeah, I just think honestly, I did the map pool for this game, but now that I actually look at this game and think about just the teams, not necessarily the map pool, I think DRX chokes. I think EDG kind of their overwhelming pressure, like the craziness of that team, kind of gets DRX fumbling in this big pressure game that they have struggled a lot with. I still think this is a good like run for DRX. I don't think it's disappointing that they lose in two here in playoffs. I think it's a lot of good experience for their players. So would be a good run. I think they absolutely could go further, but I'm going to pick EDG in this game. I also think the map pool lined up well enough. I don't remember it because I spent way too long doing that. But yeah. Then one of the games that I actually didn't do the map pool for was Lev Fnatic. I think a similar deal happens in this game. Not that Fnatic's like super crazy and catch Lev off guard or anything. I just think Lev's going to choke as well. I know Fnatic in the past have had the choker narrative. I don't think they do anymore, especially after they've won their two titles last year. And I think they should be able to get the better of Lev here when Lev are kind of fumbling after that G2 game as well. Like if you remember back to let's see Shanghai, where Lev had a good opening showing against against Gen G. Kind of had a really scrappy game with T1 after that, and then kind of shit the bed versus Foot. I think after getting another loss here against a team that they've played a lot before, and then playing a team that they've never played before, with a lot of experience on the other side, and I think a big IGL diff from Boaster. I don't know, man. I think Fnatic should be able to take those versus Lev. And then this would be a disappointment for Lev, who is a team that I've been lower on pretty much all year. Maybe outside of Shanghai. I think I might have been a little bit high on them or just like around consensus. Um, so yeah. I do think Lev is a good team. They have a lot of good individual players. I don't know. I just don't trust them. I still don't. Like if they had gone through groups pretty clean, two wins, 2-0, maybe I'd have more confidence in them. But that loss to Trace kind of fucked everything for me. And then they played a pretty close game. Wait, how close was the last map actually? Oh, that was not close. I mean, the first map of Icebox was close, and they almost lost that. But then I think Vitality just kind of fell apart after that. Um, but regardless, I don't know. I trust I trust Fnatic more, and that's what it comes down to. Then Sen G2. I did do the map pool for this. Um, I think generally G2 matches up very well against Sentinels in terms of the map pool. They ban Sunset every time. Sunset is a decent map for Sentinels. Sentinels ban like Icebox Ascent, which I think either one of them, G2 could get the better of Sen. So I'm going to pick G2 here. And also, I don't know. I just trust them more. Again, that's really what it comes down to with a lot of these teams. It's just the trust that I have in them to perform in these big moments. Then Heretics EDG. I'm just going to pick Heretics. I don't think I need to explain that too much. I'm very high on Heretics. I think they're one of the best teams in this playoffs. I think they're probably the favorite to win the playoffs here. And yeah, I had them there, even though I did have G2 beating them the first time. And I think same deal for Fnatic over Trace. I think Fnatic's just the better team. I think Trace, I mean, this is a very good run for them. I think if they can get back to the international stage, which they've kind of struggled to do within China, I think they should be back in contending for another, maybe possibly for a title next time. Maybe like top 3, top 2 is a better goal for them, but I think they genuinely could contend for a title. Then Heretics Fnatic. This is one that I do want to read out the map pool for. I don't know where it is. Okay, yeah. So the map pool I had was Lotus, Abyss, Bind. And that really sounds like a decent map pool for Fnatic. I think they should be favored on Lotus, like 70-30. Abyss should go to Heretics, though. I don't think Fnatic have looked that great on that map. And then Bind is another 50-50. So I think I think there is a chance of Heretics winning Lotus. I don't think there's a chance of Fnatic winning Abyss. So I am going to pick Heretics in this game. And again, they are my pick to win from the beginning of the tournament. So maybe I'm a little biased towards that right now, but yeah, I have them there. And then where was... Did I do the Send Heretics one? Or did I just pick Heretics? I think I just picked Heretics. I can't find the Send Heretics BO5 one. Ooh, I did. Okay. So yeah, I have the maps being Bind, Lotus, Sunset, Haven, Ascent. And I have this one going 5 maps. I go Heretics on Bind, Sen on Lotus, even though I think there's a chance, Heretics on Sunset, Sen on Haven, and then Ascent's like a 50-50, and I'd go Heretics way. And Sen are unfortunately eliminated, even though I do think in these big like pressure games and like map 5 of the BO5, I do trust Sentinels more in that scenario, genuinely. But they just haven't looked good enough on Ascent, even though Heretics don't play it. I think when they have, like, against, who was it? I think it was G2 at Shanghai. It was G2 or Genji, and I don't remember it, and they looked pretty decent on that map. So, yeah, I take them in that map. I think Minibu would play the KO on that map, and Woot would play the Jet. Maybe they bring out a crazy comp, but I still think they win that. And then I think I did the map pool. I do think G2 is a very good matchup in terms of having the double map ban against Heretics, but I'm just gonna pick them, man. I can't do it. When I have Heretics making it all the way to the final, I can't pick against them here. I think Heretics get their revenge against G2 again and finally win an event this year. And I think cap off a very, very good year for Heretics overall. So these are going to be my pick'ems. I'm going to show my VLR pick'ems as well, just so in case you guys are as confused as I was. Here you go. So these are the same pick'ems I inputted there, but I just want to show my VLR ones, so in case the format on the screen was confusing for you guys as well, these are my official pick'ems. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next one for my Bleed rebuild.